What's going on, guys? Supersonic Step with bringing you with another Super Smash Brothers, another Super Smash Brothers tutorial, episode 3. Now, in this episode, we're gonna talk about things that Zero touch based on, and a few players really touch base on, but not a lot of people touch base on, because we Zero touch based on this topic for the Wii U, but no one has really touched that much base on 3DS. And what we're going to talk about today is stages. Now, I was going to talk about neutral zoning and zoning and reads, but I figured watching a Rush Hour Smash video would be much better. The link for that video will be in the description. They did an awesome job with that video. That video really helps a lot with a lot of things. It's professionally made, better than my videos, and you should really check them out and subscribe to them while you're at it. But until then, we're going to talk about things that a lot of people don't talk about. It's time to start this with talking about stages. Let's start. In any Smash game, this is different, but the same thing applies with stages. Now, when you first go into a tournament, I'm pretty sure by my expertise in tournaments, two players will ban a stage from the neutral list. From the neutral stage list. And then, I think they'll do rock, paper, scissors to see where they go where. Or if there's only one stage left, they go there. Now, in 3DS Smash, there was only 3 neutral stages. Stages of Battlefield, Final Destination, and Yoshi's as the neutrals. Counter picks, on the other hand, will consist something of... Counter picks usually happen after the game 1, where like loser gets to loser gets to ban a stage and winner has to pick from the stage. And in counter pick stages, some stages actually open up. In 3DS Smash, the stages that open up are Prism Tower and Arena Ferox. These stages again can only be opened up when there's a game 2, so on and so on. Now, I think it's possible to reset stage bans, but I'm not really that sure because I haven't got to resetting it yet. I will update you guys if I get into it and further but let's talk about things in specific stages. Now, as a really quick side note, when you first get into, like, not competitive Smash, but like when you're practicing on 4 Glory wouldn't help. I'll tell you that, because you will barely be taking a Final Destination. So the thing with Battlefield is, to talk about it, it's just a really simple stage. Try platforms. It's really simple. Ledges are really good. It's a pretty much great stage for everyone. Not sure about Mac, but it's a really great stage for anyone. And basically neutrals are like stages that is like pretty good for everyone. And this is a pretty good stage. I mean, at least it's not like FD. Like, if somebody's pressuring you at platforms, you can always just escape that person or just get away from them and all that. Things making Battlefield more applying. Also, that since in Smash 4 you can slide through ledges and all that, it makes things much simpler. So when it comes to things with all that, you can do a lot of cool things with Battlefield. Plus, if your character kills really good vertically, aka off the top, if your character kills really good, it'll be good to take them here. Or it's just good to have a lot of like baiting. And basically Battlefield is very strategic. Since there's platforms thrown into the mix, you can like throw somebody up on the platform and wait for them to either tech or hit the ground and follow up with that. This is a pretty great combo oriented stage. It's really good. And in the sense of a matter like that, Battlefield can be a really great stage. Moving on. Next, we're going to talk about the most simplest one that everybody loves to hear. Final Destination. Now, as you can see, this stage has no platforms. Nothing. It's just you and the opponent, which a lot of casual people would think would make it the fairest out of the 3. But honestly, when it's structured like this, it's honestly not the fairest in my opinion. Because, like, if you're playing as a character who's big and really slow against a character who's fast and rush down, you don't have to you probably have a tiny bit of disadvantage. Or if you're fighting somebody like Ness and you're playing as someone like Bowser or Ganondorf, you sort of have a disadvantage in this stage. But either way, no platforms. Ledges are pretty good to recover on. A lot of moves can pass through the ledges, just like with Zero covered in his. Final destinations are the same. Pretty simple to wall jump here. It's just self-explanatory. Just fight. Moving on with the last neutral stage. Now moving on, Yoshi's I almost say Yoshi's story. Yoshi's Island is the last neutral stage, meaning that this is the last stage that's on the choice that you can go to in game 1. As a stage review, if you're so used to Final Destination, I'm gonna be honest, when you're first getting adjusted, this stage feels kind of weird with its platforms being awkward and the base being slanted and the ledges being wonky. But hey, Big Randall's here. If you're a Melee fan, you probably like Randall. Well, guess what? There's a bigger Randall. Yeah. You can also punch Shy Guys, which doesn't really mean anything. But the great thing about this stage is coming back on the stage with a normal getup can actually kind of save you at some point. And having one platform could lead to it's alright, but on the plus side of this stage, characters like Little Mac does not suffer so bad. So characters with bad recoveries would tend to perform really well on this stage. Especially if that character happens to have a wall jump, they'll perform really well, having the added vertical recovery. So moving on, we're going to start to get to the counter picks. Now let's start off with the first counter pick stage. Now, the first counter pick stage in this list we see is Arena Ferox. Now, counter picks are basically not necessarily stages that everyone can perform on. These are actually stages that is great for tournaments, but not everyone will get the fullest benefits of it. And Arena Ferox showing the platform transformations, which can really benefit some characters with projectile. Well, actually benefit or hinder characters with projectiles, but with characters with weapons that pass through the platforms, this is probably a great stage for them. This stage is relatively big and transforms a lot, so it's not as bad. Think of it as like a bootleg Pokemon Stadium 1 from Melee. It's not too bad. It's pretty good actually. But like for characters like Mac, I would not take Mac here. Characters such as Mac and basically all that, and there are some annoying platforms like when you accidentally hit the stone pillar and like waste your hitbox when you're trying to hit someone else and all that, so it can be really irritating. I mean, but that's pretty much all you have for this stage. Moving on. Now for the last counter pick stage is Prism Tower, which honestly, I'm gonna be just straight up with you guys. This is my least favorite stage. Everyone has a least favorite stage they want to go to. I would usually in tournaments ban this first, pretty much. I don't like this stage. Well, when like I said when I first showed you the random replays when I lost to Maven here, with my link, I was honestly not prepared for this stage because I've never been here. Well, actually, I have been here, but I've never really practiced here. Now, this stage, you must have a death wish if you're bringing Mac here. Don't even think about bringing Ike here. Okay, all jokes aside, this stage will really fuck over some of your characters. Like, what I mean by fuck over some of your characters, it will turn your characters into used shitballs, and you really don't want to use them here. I really hope that you bring a floaty here. You do not want to bring a space animal here. You do not want to bring someone with a bad recovery here. Don't ever bring Ike here. Don't bring Ganondorf here. Don't bring Bowser here. No. Actually, I'm not sure about Bowser, but like, pretty much, you need a better character. Sheik can do this. Diddy can somewhat do it. Rosalina can do this. And surprisingly, Robin can do this. Link can do this, but like, kind of, but I would suggest you bring your floaties here, or your characters with the best recoveries. Most preferably, I prefer Jigs for this stage. I really do. But that's just me. And now with my final thoughts. Now, granted, there were stages that were banned from Melee that weren't really banned before. Hey guys, you remember in the Smash documentary when Corneria wasn't banned? Yeah, exactly. So Corneria is usually banned in like, I'm talking about Melee. Corneria wasn't banned that much in like California. I mean, I'm East Side, but it wasn't banned that much in some locals. But it's banned now. And I remember when this stage was out. Whole time in Smash 4, there are a bunch of stages that could have been tournament. Like they were perfect for tournament, but there was a stage hazard. And the perfect example of that stage is the Univa Pokemon League. That stage starts out so good. Two platforms, just one, like two platforms, one, what you call it? It starts out so good. Two platforms, two platforms, and that's it. That's it. And then the stage hazards came, and I thought it wouldn't be that bad, but it takes up the whole screen. Oh my lord. But whatever happens, happen. So basically, a lot of people think it's all about your skill. That's all that matters. So just train on For Glory. When really, it's all about your stages. You have to be proficient on stages. You have to practice with every stage, even if you hate them. And if you hate them, practice on them the most. Like you have to practice on these stages, because believe me, I have gotten 3-stocked by Gears when I first fought him on Battlefield, and I thought I was pretty good there when really I didn't really practice there at all. So please practice on form stages, because in a tournament you would almost never get FD. Just don't even think about it. I think you guys know this, but this is for the beginners. And with that takes this episode to a conclude. Like, comment, subscribe, share this with everybody. I'll come up with another tutorial series. I'm always here to help. Next tutorial series, we're gonna be getting into what will we be getting into? Because I'm trying to do these tutorials from hard, I mean, easiest to hardest. What will we really be getting into? I don't know. Oh well, that'll be a surprise. See you guys next time.